Like, even in competitive play, it's regularly seen that teams will only get 2 points or even get caught on that first capture point, and especially the entrance to the factory at the end there can always be a huge sticking point and a good opportunity for the defenders really to get back on the horse. But here we go. It is going to be the aMEIzing team up against TLR, the last resort, and let's see what these guys are going to bring to the table. Interestingly, is that a Junkrat? Is it going to be changed? He's not actually left spawn yet. I'm not sure.
No, yeah, he hasn't. It looks like aMEIzing are going for the 3-tank composition that I spoke of. And they've got Ana as well to use that nano boost to boost up that Reinhardt and let him do some absolute work. I mean, this is the famous composition. This is what I was wondering if we were going to see. And to be honest, I didn't think we were going to see it out of aMEIzing. I thought we might have seen it out of Endpoint. On the other side, it looks like we've just got the 1 tank for TLR, the last resort. But obviously they can still change because they are still in that attack point.
Yeah, interestingly as well with aMEIzing, they've gone for this triple tank double support thing. And usually you would expect the flex to be the Zenyatta. Usually you'd see Zenyatta swapped out and you'd have Lucio still in the lineup, right? And it's like that Zenyatta / Mercy slot that can sometimes be a DPS. They've opted to swap and keep Zenyatta in, so obviously valuing those Discord orbs.
So the reason why this composition is so strong with the 3 tanks and the Ana is because Ana builds up her ultimate so quickly, so she needs to be firing those shots, she needs to be healing her teammates there to make sure she gets that ultimate very quick, then boost that Reinhardt. Reinhardt then goes in swinging, and he gets 10% every time he hits someone, so it boosts his ultimate as well, and that's what we're going to expect. We're going to expect Wing to get that ultimate status, and then just nano boost the Reinhardt.
Oh, here we go. The fight already underway. 88% here on Zarya, so doing a lot of damage, but it's going to be Ryu who goes down for the first kill, and a couple already going the way of aMEIzing team. I can confirm that, unfortunately, the overlay is actually the wrong way around once more. And also, quick shout out to CanScout, who, if it is the same CanScout, and I believe that it is, used to play in the Guild Wars 2 Pro League. So this guy, certainly a proactive gamer, definitely good at multiple esports. And we saw RG as well, who is, I think, his teammate. I can't quite remember exactly, but
the
here we go.
dart.
That was a really, really nice sleep dart there to lock down the nano boost. And it actually means the CanScout doesn't get anything done with that nano boost.
No, he didn't, and this is what I mean. So it is last resort actually using this composition, which is what I expected more than aMEIzing here. But CanScout there, that sleep dart, it just took him out, and he wasn't able to get any of that ultimate charged up. He needed kind of just to hit at least 2 of those swings, but very effective play from the Ana of Flares there.
Well, here we go. We are gonna see Ninja Fuya respawning once more, but CanScout already has his ultimate available. An aMEIzing team here. On that attacking side, they've got 3 ults now. They've got some power to work with, especially with it being Sound Barrier and Graviton Surge. That should be enough for them to be able to really make this push matter. And then the Deadeye on top of that really should be kind of the cherry on the cake for them. They should be able to get toward this first checkpoint, but here we go. There was a Reinhardt blocking a lot of the damage, and Ninja Fuya does end up going down during this fight. Complete chaos here, but it's 2 apiece right now. And it's going to turn into more here as CanScout is charged into the backline with that nano boost and will be able to finish off the enemy Ana in the hands of Flares. Or in fact, just pushes him straight back into his base. But all in all, yet another team fight for TLR.
Yeah, and that's basically what's going to happen in this game is we're going to have these team fights. If Ana's charged, she is definitely going to use that nano boost on Reinhardt. We now see aMEIzing. They have their Ana charged as well in Flares, so he's probably going to look. There we go. There's the charge up on RNG now.
Yeah, and that is going to be another kill going the way down. TLR are starting to run out of members, though, so this could be a good push now for aMEIzing team. It's going to be RNG managing to grab 2 for himself. And low tier God chiming in as well. Ryu gets 1, and Keys suddenly finds himself all alone in the world, and this should be the payload pushed on forwards in the end. And we do see the first checkpoint captured now for aMEIzing team. So make it... Oh, yeah, sorry, the overlay always confuses me. Because you can see that it's the red team pushing, but regardless that it's the blue team pushing on the actual payload map, always catches me. But here we have it. aMEIzing team have managed to get to that first checkpoint. So already we're going to see a closer series than what we saw last time.
And we will see Sky change out from Junkrat as well. Fantastic hook there from Keys. Unfortunately, it was on Reinhardt, so not someone squishy that he could have killed. But that's good work from him then. He just needs to get that pick when he's got his teammates around him.
Yeah, one of the key things as well is that gives his team opportunity to build up their ultimate charge, right? The second that Ryan hurts shield down, they can land some shots, they can build up that charge a little bit easier for themselves. I'm curious to see how they set up this next fight, whether they go for a wombo combo just as they get to the bridge here, or whether they wait a little bit. But here we go, low tier god jumping up, making sure that he's dealing as much damage as possible to these guys, and he is going to be doing so. Looks for the double, falls off the bridge though, can't quite finish things off. It could have been beautiful, but unfortunately doesn't quite make it happen. Does have that Dragon Blade available now though, so we're going to see Ninja Fuya now just trying to volley some shots in, trying to get that damage down where he can. The payload has been halted right now, but Nano Boost comes on through. The rest of the team not actually here just yet, but Sound Barrier going to be there as well. And here we go, the counter Nano Boost coming through. The tanks are rampaging around this team fight. But all in all, no kills have gone down just yet. Graviton Surge finally going to be dropped. Ninja Fuya is going to be pulled into that one and does manage to get the kill onto Keys in the end, I believe. Low tier god and Flares, last two remaining for aMEIzing team. And the defense holds strong.
This is the kind of meta that I've been expecting. This is the game I was expecting to watch with these Ana boosts, one coming out and the next one coming to counter it. TLR are doing well at the moment because they're saving ultimates. They're using that Ana boost effectively, but they've still got ultimates. They just used now. Soldier has just used his as well, but unfortunately he's not going to be able to get any kills because he's just charged down by Winston. So he's now going to be reloading that ultimate.
Yeah, and already you can see the effect of low tier god. The second he jumps onto that bridge, they immediately back away. They don't want to go down again. Keys might just be the next one going down. Does manage to heal himself back up though, so going to survive that situation. Graviton Surge once more. This could be the blender effect as the Dragon Blade is available and he will go straight back in, finishing off the DPS. Transcendence comes on through though. Might be able to save a couple of lives. Low tier god has to escape despite the sound barrier. And that is a nice little defense coming out from this side of TLR, doing a fantastic job. Space is going to drop as well as Can Scout though, an aMEIzing team. They're not done just yet, they're still trying to make this happen. Low tier god has been doing work in this fight, and now he's going to look for the soldier, but unfortunately is going to have to back away. Flares narrowly escaping with his life as well.
Yeah, TLR doing well defending, but this payload is still moving ever so slightly for aMEIzing. They're nearly at that checkpoint, which will go into the final push round to the end checkpoint there, but we see a couple of ultimates still left. Key still has his whole hog. I wonder if maybe he'll wait and see if Wing's going to use her nano boost on him, or whether they're just going to see the normal nano boost onto Reinhardt, as we now will see a battle initiating once again. And the Graviton Surge drops once again, and we will see Genji doing some absolute work here.
Yeah, an aMEIzing team have already lost this fight. They already go down. Low tier god actually burns his ultimate there as well. Bit of a unfortunate scenario, but instant team wipe coming on through, and that is it. We're going to be out of time. All of the members died, so there's no one to contest this. And there you have it. TLR holding fast. There was a cap going the way of aMEIzing team. They managed to get past that first checkpoint, but I mentioned it earlier. Beyond the bridge, in front of that factory, is an incredibly difficult point to push past. That's always a sticking point when you're on the offensive. And, you know, TLR, they've certainly set themselves a fairly easy bar to leap.
Yeah, aMEIzing, we're looking quite good actually with their attacks. They were using the nano boost onto Reinhardt really effectively, but then TLR just kind of countered it perfectly and didn't allow them. That final push was so close for aMEIzing as well, but the Graviton Surge was just too much, unfortunately, for the aMEIzing team. And I wonder if TLR will stick with this kind of 3-tank composition for when they're attacking. I mean, the trouble is with this 3-tank, 3-support, or if you have 1 flex, you have to mirror it to beat it because it's so strong. We've seen teams like Dignitas try and beat it with using like a Reaper nano boosted to try and get as much damage as possible, but no one's really found a way to break through it right now. It's just such a strong composition, and we saw an aMEIzing team. They were just struggling to get through it.
Yeah, absolutely. And I think so far what we've seen in competitive is the way to play against this comp is to also play this comp. That's kind of been the story of competitive recently. But we'll see if that is going to continue to be the case here at the ESL UK Premiership. And once again, aMEIzing team running with that triple tank composition, but this time, no Ana coming out from them. A little bit interesting to see that, considering, well, I would consider the Ana to be kind of the linchpin of this entire playstyle.
Definitely. The whole reason you have those 3 tanks is because Ana just heals them up so well, and then that nano boost coming down on Reinhardt. So perhaps we might see a change just in that attack spawn, but you know.
They're on the defense.
Oh, they're on the
though.
defense, yes,
Yeah.
of course. So they are just going to go with it. Maybe they just want that those extra tanks to soak up that damage and aren't comfortable with playing Ana. On the other side, we do see 3 tanks in TLR as well, but D.Va coming out on the offense as well. So it will be interesting to see how they move with this one. Obviously, D.Va has a lot of she can move around the map very fast, and she can kind of get behind and just absolutely pepper spray bullets onto the other team.
Yeah, I've got to say, Wing, I said how he was used to be a League of Legends AD carry. He's obviously played a lot of Graves over the years, and he's going to be jumping on McCree here in Overwatch. Wants to stick to characters he already knows, but here we go. The ultimate's going to be stacking up once more, but the fight is already underway, and that's going to be CanScout dropping TLR, not with the most convincing attack to kick things off. Stopped underneath this very first little hallway. It's going to put a little bit of a spanner in the works for them. They are very close to spawn, obviously, though, so it shouldn't be too much of a major setback. And immediately, we see the composition change. Wing going to pick up that Ana now as Key's incredibly low. Will actually have to just go back to base to heal, potentially.
Yeah, I like the change to Ana as well. It was obviously working when they were defending, so I'm not surprised that they're going to try it now offense as well. But this is a relatively good place to hold for aMEIzing team. They just need to make sure they all stay together. Don't let anyone kind of get picked off so easily. But Sky is behind. He's going to be a nuisance. And aMEIzing are going to have to do something to try and deal with him here.
Yeah, well, we'll see if he can trick them. Because Sky tricks yet. He's going to be jumping behind. But Sound Barrier is going to come on out from both of these teams. It's going to put a little bit of delay on this fight, but JMC is looking to be one of the first ones to go down. But there's a beautiful little Earth Shatter as CanScout gets 2 kills on 70%, and his shield is just about to go down as he's looking for more. The heals are coming out though, and RNG is going to respawn a base. Dragonblade comes on through, and look at this triple coming on out. Wing grabs a couple for himself, and that is going to be TLR just about tying things up in this series as they look to get this first capture point. And now, if they can actually push that home, if they can get to that checkpoint, which they will be able to do so now, then that means the aMEIzing team, they're actually on the ropes in this first map.
And Sky was just an integral part of that push and that team fight there. He was just a nuisance behind, and he said, look, when you guys are ready to push, I'm just going to come in from behind. He used Dragonblade, and I mean, you really have to send someone to deal with it, especially when you've got a McCree on your side as well. Lotte God just needed to be looking out for that Genji and just make sure that he gets taken down and not allow him to just flank around so easily like that.
Here we go, 4 minutes on the clock. That's how long aMEIzing team have to defend this one for. Heineken did come out there, but CanScout is just melting through the DPS right now. He's doing whatever he can on the giant gorilla, leaping forward to finish off RNG as well. TLR, they're not having any of it. 3 kills go their way. It's going to get finished off in the end. Ryu gets that one for himself, and it doesn't really matter though. There's only just one member going down, and I mean, TLR are just going to continue to push on this one. There's only just people respawning here, and they've made it further. They didn't even have to get to the checkpoint. They just had to beat the score that aMEIzing team set, and apparently it wasn't that hard of a task for them.
Yeah, and it was a good switch out for TLR as well. We saw Winston come into play, and he was just like, look, I'm going to play an aggressive Winston. I'll just frontline this. I'll get in their face, and then you guys can DPS everything for me. And it was good work from him as well, and we saw the Nano Boost come down onto him, or at least was ready to come down onto him. And I think Nano Boost is just so key in this meta right now. Speaking of key, Roadhog, go play the game.
Yeah, he certainly was key in this game. I'm fully expecting Whole Hog coming out from Keys, as he is just going to melt those health bars. Beautiful little bit of play coming out from him and the rest of his team. Just again, we can see the coordination coming through from these teams, and that is basically what is going to make you win these games, especially in 6v6. Obviously, it's different in quick match. When you're just playing solo queue, when you're just playing quick matches, there isn't that synergy. People are just running around, but when it comes to actual competitive, when you're playing as a full team, it is all about working together and all about synergizing those ultimates, making sure that you're selecting targets correctly and you are working together as a unit. So far, Last Resort making that happen for themselves, taking the lead 1-0 in this series. And now I'm trying to remember what this second map in the series was. King's Row. Is it?
I believe it is King's Row, yeah. Unless I'm mistaken. Yeah.
It is King's Row. I'm just an idiot then. There we have it. But we are going to go onto the streets of the UK once more, where there's revolt against the Omnics. We'll see whether that is going to be the case in this game as well. But, I mean, aMEIzing team. I've got to say, they've got their work cut out. If they want to pull themselves back into this series, we were saying that Last Resort were the favourites, and they had a little bit of a better showing than what we saw out of the likes of Moped Drive-By. But at the same time, it wasn't anything massively convincing.
I mean, they're definitely up to date with... They know what they're trying to do with their composition, and you saw they were trying to that kind of 3-tank. They were trying to get Ana involved. They just didn't pull it off as well as the Last Resort. Last Resort, Ana was getting charged up first, and that's the key, is just making sure your Ana wins that race so that you can get the first one off. If you get that first nano boost onto the Reinhardt pushes in, kills 3 members, boosts up his ultimate, boosts up the rest of the team's ultimate, and then you've got more ults for the next team fight. So that was just the key, is literally Ana won the race.
Yeah, absolutely. And I mean, it's a pretty easy race to win if your opponents don't actually go for Ana at the start of the game. So they are going to manage to take that first one in the series, and the next one is going to be King's Row. So what do you expect coming into King's Row? Are we going to see just more of this same composition where you go for the 3 tanks, 2 supports, or we're going to see the full 3 tanks, 3 supports, or we're going to see something a little bit more different?
I don't think either of these teams are going to go for the 3 tank, 3 supports. It looks like they're more comfortable with that kind of alien version of having a DPS character or a kind of defensive character as well as that, so I'm expecting the 3-2-1. But they were kind of switch and swapping throughout the whole game. They were like, this isn't really working, let's change from Reinhardt to Winston, and that is an alien version of that composition, but it's still the kind of same technique. You're still going to be using that nano boost from Ana on Winston, and they just have so much health that literally as soon as they're nano boosted up, you can't do anything, no matter how much DPS you have, just because of the armor that is put onto those characters.
And that's one of the reasons why it's so strong on Reinhardt as well, because the amount of armor he has on top of it, it's like double damage reduction coming through for him. So it's just so difficult to deal with unless you've got... Well, I don't even know what I was saying. Unless you've got... He is just difficult to deal with.
Everyone's trying to find a way to break this composition right now. And I said earlier, Dignitas were trying this kind of, let's nano boost Reaper and then use his Death Blossom, and it works. It kills tanks, but even when Reinhardt is nano boosted up, even a Death Blossom isn't going to do it. A nano boosted Death Blossom still doesn't get through him. It's just so much armor that he's got available. It's just absolutely crazy.
Yeah, it is incredibly difficult to beat, and we'll see as the weeks progress how teams are going to be able to tackle this composition, and whether it's just a matter of, a solved meta, that this is the best composition right now and we're just going to have to wait for a patch before anything changes.
The reason why it happened was because Zenyatta got nerfed, right? His orb doesn't reduce the damage as much, increase the damage, as much as it did before, so you're not able to shut down those tanks as quickly as you could with the DPS beforehand. So now you're more likely to play a tank character because you can be a little bit more expressive with your play. You can walk and you don't have to worry as much about your positioning just because of the amount of health, and you are less vulnerable because of that nerf on Zenyatta.
Absolutely. I think one of the key things as well that we need to talk about before jumping into the second map is the fact that the Last Resort, technically, they're a team sticking together for the UK Premiership. They're essentially a mixed team right now. So, considering the amount of synergy we've seen out of them, they clearly have a game plan going into that first map, into Dorado. We could see that they were working together, they were coordinating their ultimates. And to be honest, that's fairly impressive from a mix. You don't expect to see that, maybe you don't expect to see that same level of synergy coming out from a mix as you would from a standard team. But here we go, going to jump onto King's Row here for the second game in this best of 3, and we'll see if aMEIzing team are going to be able to get themselves on the board in this best of 3, or whether it is going to be another 2-0 sweep. And we'll move on to our third best of 3 of the night. There's only one way to find out though, so we jump on to King's Row.
I think the important thing to remember from Last Resort is that they were a team. So they did kind of split up and they've gone in different directions, and they are a mix now, but they had that practice together. They are without their key support character, Grease, so I'm surprised that they are doing so well. Wing has done a fantastic job stepping into that kind of support role, so I am impressed with his Ana play. He's just been charging himself up quicker than the aMEIzing team's Ana, and we will see aMEIzing team now. They're not even going to go for an Ana. They are going to go for that kind of more 2-2-2 composition that you would usually see, especially in Season 1. So we're going to see how this goes, but to be honest, composition-wise, I think, I see a Widowmaker. This is interesting, actually, from Sky.
Yeah, this is going to be interesting. Whether or not he can land those headshots could be crucial, as he does his very best Spider-Man impression, swinging from building to building. But on attack as well, this is very unexpected. If he can... Oh, so close to getting that kill onto Zenyatta. That would have really opened up this game. Flair's able to tank that, though, and with Zenyatta's health bar mostly being shield, will be able to revive himself. But here we go already. This is starting to be a cap for aMEIzing team. They've got that first third of the capture done already. And that's going to be a kill onto RNG as well. But here we go. They're starting to drop. In fact, I'm looking at the wrong team right now. It is, in fact, TLR that are on the attack. And that explains this aggressive push that we're seeing coming out as well.
Nice hook there as well from Roadhog. I mean, that's just saying, Lucio, look, you're not going to get away. I don't care how quick you are. I'm just going to hook you. And I'm really enjoying the fact that Roadhog is finding his way into kind of top tier Overwatch, because he's always been a good character to play during solo queue and during your own competitive, but he's never really been played that much in top tier Overwatch. So it is great to see that he's being used, because he is a personal favourite of mine. Infrasight will come out from Sky, and I did question this pick from Widowmaker, but she's been doing some quite good work just making sure she get those important shots to take down the health of the opposition team. And if you're not expecting that Widowmaker, you're not going to position yourself to get out of the way of it.
No, you're certainly not. And we are actually going to see that Widowmaker on Ryu, see if he can make something happen here, as TLR have swapped it out now. They've gone for the Winston. And we'll see whether that's going to make a difference here. As aMEIzing team once again starting to lose members. Ryu as well, incredibly low. Will be able to get away with his life though, but 2 members going down is the last thing that aMEIzing team need right now. They have managed to trade it, but it's only for a single kill, and TLR still going to be on the offensive. However, they've lost control of the payload for now. The regroup is going to happen though, and I would expect this push to go on once again as the ultimates are starting to become available. JMC here with the Graviton Surge ready.
Yeah, Graviton Surge can come in. Wing's nearly got her ultimate as well, so she'll be able to charge up Reinhardt as well, and he does have Earthshatter to follow it up as well, so TLR will get the push in now. Graviton Surge does drop in. We will see damage coming out of JMC as well. Fantastic work from him as Zarya.
Yeah, absolutely. 3 kills go the way of TLR, and they continue to push forward. They're looking towards this checkpoint very, very early on in this map, and look at the positioning as well from CanScout and from Sky. They just charge on forwards. The frenzy coming on through as Sky just jumps onto the head of Ryu, shuts him down, and that is going to mean that this checkpoint is almost guaranteed at this stage. All of them are going to be pushing that payload on in, and nobody here to contest. So there we have it. 2 points now for TLR, and all they've got to do is get this final 100 meters done. They've just got to get through the final straight, the home stretch.
And you know what's going to happen. The Nano Boost is going to come out onto that Reinhardt. Oh, did he miss? He's actually gone for the Reaper instead. Reaper is now pushing in. The Earthshatter does come out as well, but there's the damage from Sky as Reaper. Fantastic work from him, and this is going to be a great push from TLR.
Yeah, it certainly is. It already is, I think, at this point, and that is going to be another player dropping. Healbot goes down to the likes of Sky. He's just going to reposition back towards his team, back onto the payload as they continue to push this forward. I like this coming out from TLR as well. They get a good amount of distance on the payload, and then they retreat. They back off. They're happy to concede control. They know that they're not going to be able to fight for control with just 5 members, so they back up until the rest of the team's ready, until they've got a couple of ultimates, and then they'll re-go for the push. But the hook comes through from Keys straight onto the backlines and Yata, and that is going to open things wide here for TLR.
Yeah, they might have waited, but that hook is really going to initiate the thing as the Death Blossom does come in, picks up 2 kills. That's going to be 3 members down now from aMEIzing. We will see the rest of TLR flood in, push this payload to the final point, and that should be the map, but there is Transcendence there to stop it, but he goes flying off the map there.
That was I think that was Charge, maybe, from CanScout coming out, or maybe it was Space that knocked him off, but either way, nice little bit of play to knock off the Zenyatta. In the end, though, I don't know how long this one can last. Sky is still hanging around. A few members of TLR did go down, but not enough members, and that is going to be them pushing this one home in a fairly convincing time as well. I think 6 minutes and 22 seconds, if I can count correctly in my head. So they had 3 minutes and 38 remaining. And let's see if aMEIzing team are going to be able to match that ridiculous performance coming out from TLR.
They really just need to try and mirror this Ana Reinhardt combo. I mean, even if you're not going to go for the 3 tanks, I think you just need to go for Ana and Reinhardt, because they're just losing every team fight as soon as Ana's charged. And because her ultimate charges up so quickly, that Nano Boost is just available. And Reinhardt just does so much damage with each hit, and it's not just the damage that's the worrying part, it's how quickly his ultimate charges when he is Nano Boosted as well. I think it's 10% per hit. So, I mean, if he's halfway there, 5 more hits, and he's got his Earthshatter ready. But just looking at these compositions, so TLR, actually aMEI coming out from wing defensively, so this will be interesting from them. And we do see Roadhog once again, just with the Reinhardt, but they are going for the kind of 2-2-2, we will see a last-minute switch, actually, to D.Va from JMC. So JMC is actually the substitute for TLR in the place of Greece, so he's probably being told what to play. They're saying, look, okay, this is what we usually play, this is what you want to play, how about we compromise with this? And he has gone for Roadhog, and he did. We saw some fantastic hooks from Keys as Roadhog, and actually on the defensive, Keys is going to go for Ana this time.
Yeah, interesting that we're going to see that switch up. It was Keys that went on Ana on Dorado as well, though, so we'll see how effectively he can use that one here on King's Row. Home territory for these players. But interestingly, we've got Wing on Mei. I want to see what the little ice princess can accomplish. Obviously, she's in fact a scientist, but I like to think of her as a princess. She's immediately going to be looking for this wall just to really annoy the opponents here. It's going to be low tier God jumping forwards to just get some damage, and this is exactly how you play Genji on attack right now. You just jump around, annoy them, try and stack up your ult as fast as possible. I've got to say, I wouldn't have gone this deep this early, and I think he is going to get punished for that one, but just hopping around and trying to get your ult is what I was trying to get out of that.
Well, that initial kill, it came onto Reinhardt of aMEIzing team because Wing walled off Reinhardt when Reinhardt pushed through. None of his teammates were there to support him, so great work from Wing, really utilizing Mei's abilities of the wall there. And now they can just back off and they can just wait as their ultimates are going to be closer to charge than Team aMEIzing or aMEIzing team. And Keys now will be looking to charge up that nano boost to get ready to pop it into Can Scout's backside and allow him to charge in.
We'll see if Can Scout's backside will be unfortunate in these circumstances, but this is the spot I was on about before. And nice little play from low tier God. It's going to disrupt the Mei so the rest of his team can push on in unhindered by the ice wall. And fantastic little bit of teamwork coming out here from aMEIzing team. This is what we want to see, and that wall is going to delay things, but it's not going to have the same effect as what we saw before. And here we go, low tier God jumping straight onto the back line. He's looking for space, trying to finish players up as the Dragon Blade comes into play, but he might just be about to get shut down. No, he's not. Gets a triple for himself. Finally gets finished, but JMC with a whole hog answers for all 3 kills and turns it into 4. Unfortunately, aMEIzing team, they've had the best push they've had this game, but it's still not quite enough.
It's not, but they will spawn a lot closer to this point than TLR will. So TLR look like they're just going to back off a little bit. They're going to try and regroup and try and have one last hold of this point. It was good work from TLR, but they just lost too many players, and it does look like they are going to give up this objective. I think that's the right thing to do. No, but as you know, we see the Reinhardt pushing in now. High Noon will drop as well. But there comes the Blizzard there from Mei, which is just going to slow down this whole aMEIzing team.
Yeah, I like the play from low tier God there. Does manage to shut down the High Noon. Is it going to be enough, though, as he looks for Reinhardt as well? Jumps onto the Ana. Nice little bit of positioning coming out from him. Low tier God, I've got to say, MVP right now for aMEIzing team. He's the one that's really making this happen for his squad. And nice little bit of play from space, actually. He's just going to continue to contest. Uses his sound barrier as well, just to make sure this fight will continue. Finally goes down, but the wall comes out all the way up from Wing. Can't get the charge because that wall's in the way. Wing will drop in the end, but again, it buys more time. They can continue to contest, and all they need to do right now, all TLR need to accomplish, is to just buy as much time as possible, because the longer that they wait around on this A site, the longer it's going to take them to actually push on home. And if they can't beat the time, then they are going to be struggling.
Yep, Deadeye available once again for Ryu here. So maybe we'll see him kind of merge up with Zaya's Graviton Surge here and really use that effectively. I think that's the key point here, is just to try and combine 2 of those ultimates to really have the most effect. And TLR don't have any defensive ultimates available to try and counter this. And there is the Graviton Surge, nice and ready for Ninja Fuya now going into this team fight.
Yeah, Earthshatter already comes out, and look at the annihilation coming through. Healbot gets one as well. Wing becomes the last man remaining, but not for very long, as he is going to be cut into shattered, if you will. Low tier God once again finds himself a kill. And well, that is how you do a team fight right there by aMEIzing team. They made that one happen so quickly. Beautiful bit of play. And the headshot comes through from low tier God as well to find himself a kill. And TLR, they're the ones that are struggling all of a sudden off the back of that team fight. I mean, that's got to be a bit of a blast to the morale, especially if you were so convincing on your side of the attack.
Yeah, we might see the nano boost come out now, but actually the stun comes in there from McCree, which is going to be fantastic. And Can Scout gets taken down despite being nano boosted up. Blizzard comes in from Mei as well, so now we'll see all those players start to slow down. They won't be able to move Nano Boost is going to be initiated once again, actually onto Genji.
That is going to be an absolute massacre as Low Tier God is just going absolutely ham. Grabs 2 for himself. Ryu finishes off his opposing Cowboy. And well, we're making some progress here, boys. Amazing team. All 6 players on fire right now. They're on a or on a kill streak at least at this rate. And they're looking to finish this one off in style. Unfortunately, they have already got a slower time than their opponents. But so long as they can get the 3rd in, we'll move into overtime, I believe. Well, we'll have to wait and see if they're going to be able to continue to push this one home here. Amazing team are a player down right now. Healbot did end up dropping, but Dragonblade going to come out from Low Tier God once more. Nano Boost not available though for him this time. He will be able to finish off CanScout in the end. We'll be able to escape, but not for very long because JMC, he's the one with a Nano Boost. This time Flares though will just make sure that he takes a nap. He doesn't want to overcommit to anything. Doesn't want to get too tired.
Really important there from TLR to defend so well, and I think that was kind of an emergency Nano Boost from Keys onto JMC just to make sure they won that team fight. They need to group up, but it looks extremely worrying because aMEIzing have 4 ultimates ready and they can push in. I think they might even wait for Ninja to get that Graviton Surge before they make a real push. There is definitely ultimates they can work with, as we do see the Nano Boost coming out onto Genji now as he's pushing in, doing some absolute work here. Yeah,
Low Tier God once again jumping forward with that Nano Boost, but this time not quite as effective as he would have hoped, and JMC again shuts him down. But the Earth Shatter comes through. The payload's in the way of the High Noon, and it can't actually find anything. Orangey jumping forwards, and he finishes off space. He's looking for a second as well, as he has to just back away a little bit. Needs to get back to the rest of his team here. But all in all, TLR, they're running out of players right now. This is looking to be going the way of aMEIzing team as Wing falls off that map. Disaster coming out for the Winston player himself. They might just be able to push this one forward, but it's only 2 minutes left on the clock. They've got to do it sooner rather than later, and we're continuing to see TLR just contest onto this point. They're just making sure that it's not going to be moving, that the payload stays exactly where it is, but more players will drop. Keys the first one. Primal Rage coming on through, though, for the likes of Wing, but will get shut down, and that is going to be the payload coming in the end. Sky goes down, and yeah, Reinhardt can't get there in time. Round 2 complete. The score is 3-3.
Yeah, we will now go into 2 more separate pushes, and you know, okay, so aMEIzing team, they did manage to get it, but TLR did it a lot quicker, so they've got more time to work with now in this next rotation of pushes. I've got to give credit to Space playing Lucio during that last final push there. He was just being such a nuisance, just making sure he ate up as much time as possible. He knew that they were probably going to lose because they weren't able to group up for that team fight, but he said, look, I'm just going to dance around with my speed boost, guys. I'm going to make sure I just give us as much of a chance and try and derail the aMEIzing team's kind of time here. So aMEIzing team will have 1 minute and 29 when they look to push here, and they did take quite a while to get that first point during their first attack, so it'll be interesting to see whether TLR can hold this one.
Yeah, it certainly will. 1 minute and 29. I've got to say, that's a difficult score to be looking at, especially if you're the side of aMEIzing team right now. TLR, they've made themselves a bit of a buffer here. Over 2 minutes ahead of their opponents. All they have to do is have a strong defense on the A point. They just about guarantee themselves this map.
Are you ready for the Ana race, Munchables? It's going to happen. It's going to be quick.
Ready.
aMEIzing team, they need to get flares to get boosted as quick as possible. Get that Nano Boost ready so they can just... Wait, they don't have a Reinhardt. They're not even... Who are they going to boost? Possibly Orangey and
Low Tier God.
There?
It's got to be Low Tier God. He was doing ridiculous things in the first half of this game. Let's see if he can continue to do so. Jumps forward already, and actually TLR just conceding control of the gateway. Interesting from them. We usually, or like earlier, we saw them be much more aggressive in terms of positioning, but they're staying grouped up, staying behind the Reinhardt to start things off. And here we go. The fight is already underway. Look at this aggressive play from Low Tier God, forcing 3 players to answer for him. Almost gets away with it, but will get shut down in the end. 95% charge here on Ninja Fury, but it's not going to be enough. Ninja Fuya goes on down. Ryu as well. The rest of the team follow. And Flares now, last man remaining, will get hooked and will get finished off.
And this is worrying for aMEIzing team because TLR did all that without using any ultimate, and we see Keys has that Nano Boost ready. So as soon as the race is over, and Keys 100% won that race, and then they'll be waiting. As soon as aMEIzing team make any sort of push, we're going to see that Nano Boost come onto CanScout, and he's just going to swing his axe as hard as he can. There we go, the nano boost will come out, and this battle is started.
It certainly has. Nobody going down just yet, though, as the sound barrier did come out from the side of TLR. It's going to protect a lot of people, and Ninja Fuya drops as well. Healbot flares, low tier God. They're in a whole world of hurt right there as a nice little headshot comes through from Wing as well. And low tier God. He swapped off the Genji. He's gone from the Tracer, but squishy hero to squishy hero, you're still going to be struggling against this lineup of TLR, and that is going to be it. No overtime coming through. An amazing team. They cannot get the A point, and now all TLR have to do to win this series, they just have to grab the A point in just under 4 minutes.
Yeah, and that's plenty of time for TLR, I feel, and you know,
especially if the push is anything like it was last time.
Exactly, and it was Keys that just saved up that nano boost and shoved it onto CanScout. CanScout didn't really hit many people with that swing. I mean, he got a few hits on Xayah, and I think that was the important thing, is just kind of charging up the ultimates for the rest of his team. We will see Sky going once again for that Widowmaker. I mean, we saw it during the first round, and it certainly worked, especially when he was able to get some sheer damage onto Zenyatta. So he's clearly comfortable with that kind of opening strat, and they got the A point very quickly during their first rotation, so I'm not really surprised they've gone for a very similar composition here.
Yeah, absolutely. If it ain't broke, don't fix it, I believe is the phrase. But here we go. Low tier God going for the Mei this time. Doesn't want to go for the Genji while he's on defense. Can't say I'm too surprised by that, but at the same time, when you're in this kind of situation, do you go for standard right now, or do you just go for something that's going to win you the game? Maybe the Genji is kind of like that last resort play that potentially they need up against last resort.
I mean, I think he's probably frustrated as Genji because TLR, Wing was playing that Mei, and Mei does counter Genji so well, and maybe he's just so on tilt that he's decided, look, I'm going to play Mei myself now. So we will see shots coming out from Sky, trying to pick someone off as Widowmaker. He does hit a few, but he's not able to take anyone out just yet.
No, unfortunately not for him, but we'll see. Flair's already at 44% on that Ana. He's looking to try and stack up his ultimate as fast as possible, but a couple of members of TLR already going to get dropped here. JMC as well, struggling up against this Mei. He should get headshot down once again. A nice little pull, though, by Keys. He's going to shut down Flares, and that'll even things up just about. The push has been thwarted, though, and it means that amazing team hold on for at least a little bit. Now it's just 3 minutes remaining for TLR, and they're going to have to make something happen for themselves. I don't know whether it's going to be enough time or not. I would certainly expect it to be, but amazing team doing a good job so far. CanScout gets shut down once again. These walls have been absolutely on point. Look at the headshots as well coming through from Ryu. He's looking to finish off Keys, who gets a nice little shield from Xayah, but it's not going to be enough, and both of them go down. Couple of nice little bullets coming out from Ryu. Two in the barrel, and that's going to be another headshot coming onto Sky. A little bit of pinpoint accuracy coming out from Ryu as he picks up kill after kill.
Great work there from Ryu, and I think that's what you're expecting. He's very well known for playing these DPS characters. When I was speaking to their team captain, he said, look, just watch him. He'll play McCree or Tracer, and he'll do some absolute work. And they did manage to hold off this push initially, and even though that TLR used that nano boost onto Reinhardt, but amazing team, they just backed off enough. They avoided Reinhardt's swings, waited for the nano boost to finish, and then that's when they made their move. We will see nano boost ready again for Wing now, so we might see another push coming out very soon.
Well, amazing team. It's not just about the single ultimate for them. They've got 5 available. Blizzard is going to be the first one to be dropped. Can they get any freezers, though? That's the question. As Graviton Surge doesn't pull anyone in. And Earthshatter now in the hands of RNG. Who's he going to use it on, though? He's going to use it on just about everyone. Knocks pretty much the whole team down, but can his team follow up on it? It doesn't look like it. CanScout the only one that's gone down for TLR, and they're finally making the push happen. Keys is going to drop, though. Is there going to be a last form of defense here from low tier God? He's got to make something happen, but JMC has the Graviton Surge. Fully expect this to be used just to stop the contest. And I think this game might just be about over here. TLR are going to be able to capture that 8 point and therefore take Kings Row and the series 2-0 to TLR against amazing team.
Yeah, we saw the Transcendence coming out, trying to rush to that point there, but as you said, the good use of Graviton Surge just to delay as much as possible. We see the GGs coming in the chat, and that's always good just to see that these guys are enjoying the game and they are saying good game to each other. We do see playing the match coming out of Orangey, actually. I wonder if that was the Earthshatter at the end there. He was doing some real work. I know it was earlier on this game, but yeah, an Earthshatter once again. And, you know, I'm really enjoying watching these two teams play, and it's getting me quite excited for the following games later, especially in the winners bracket as well, because I think the standard is better than I expected. I'm really happy to see these guys just fitting the meta so well. I really didn't know what to expect with these teams, but they definitely have the knowledge, and they are definitely up there with some top teams.
Yeah, and this means as well, now that we've had those first 2 O's out of the way, we're going to be moving on to 2 games that I believe are going to be a little bit closer. First game coming up is going to be Team Endpoint up against The Last Resort. Our 2 winners are going to be facing off, and then following that we'll have our lower bracket round of 2. That is a game for tournament life at this stage. We're going to be seeing Moped. I keep getting this name wrong. It's such a weird name.
My favorite
Moped Drive-By going to be up against aMEIzing team in that lower bracket round of 2, and we'll see who's going to be able to cling on to their life, basically. Cling on to their tournament standing and move forward into the lower bracket final. And the lower bracket final as well will be played next week along with our grand final. And at the end of next week, we will be able to tell you guys who one of the teams that is going to be going to the finals at Comic-Con. But we are going to be shortly heading into a quick break. But before we do, make sure you check us out on social media. We're on Twitter, we're on Facebook, and the VODs will be uploaded to YouTube. So make sure, in case you've missed any of them, that you check that out later on. But we are going to be seeing, in just a few minutes' time, who's going to be able to continue in the winners bracket between TLR and Team Endpoint. We'll see you then.